Hey, Shalom Makiam, Mr. Brother Nashar with the Great Millstone Dallas Camp. Uh, First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Again, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles ruling well, and salutations to all you elect pushing his truth. But I had a little something on my spirit, man. Just kind of wanted to go in the times that we're in. This chapter goes into it beautifully. And, I hope everything will be edifying. I pray that the Spirit uses me just for edification's sake. But other than that, without further ado, 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, it says that now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And that's what a lot of people are doing, especially in Israel alone. It's a lot of dudes falling out and giving over to those seducing spirits. And I just kind of wanted to get that word for giving heed, because it's got a few pieces of meat still on it.
Strong's G 4337. Prosejo.
Prasejo. And it goes into to bring near. But what stuck out to me was Roman numeral 2. It says to turn the mind to, attend to be attentive. And that's what a lot of dudes have done that have fell out of the truth. They've turned their mind to those seducing spirits and seducing doctrines. From anywhere from, the flat earth to the woman is God, the Vatican being the daughter of Babylon, just to kind of name a few things that are on the list. A lot of people, even in the world, have given their minds over to seducing spirits a long time ago. They don't even have the option of even being woke up, man, unless the Lord chose them. And that's the most beautifulest thing about this truth is it's a gift, man. It's a gift. But verse 2, it says, speaking lies and hypocrisy, giving their conscience or having their conscience seared with a hot iron. And I just want to get that word there for conscience real quick. It says the conscience of anything. But what stuck out to me was Roman numeral 2 again. It says the soul as distinguishing between what is morally good and bad. And that's what a lot of dudes have done. And that's what happens when you give over your mind unto seducing spirits and doctrines. You can't distinguish between what is morally good and bad. The truth is good, man. And it's funny how when people fall out of the truth, they start to scoff at it. And it's funny how what this definition is going to go to, it says prompting to do the former and shun the later. Because that's what a lot of dudes have done. They feel like the world has something better to offer. It's crazy to me, and I'm sure I speak for other brothers when I say that why even go back to the world, man? It ain't like you're exempt from the curses by being in the world. You're going to be going through the same shit anyway. Excuse my language. Might as well stay in the truth and have a better chance to have a little bit of life on this side and then govern the next life. It's a way better reward. Way better. Okay? It says forbidding to marry, reading verse 3, and commanding to abstain from meats which the Most High hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. And a lot of people use this passage to try to say we can eat anything and everything. And that's not what this passage is saying. Because of course, the meats that the Lord told us not to eat, we're not supposed to eat them regardless. And it doesn't make them bad just because he said not to eat them. We just shouldn't eat them. Now, of course, everything that the Lord made is good. Even the evil is good. Because everything has its balance, man. But verse 4, it says, for every creature of the Most High is good, and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving. See, that's what people try to use to try to say we can eat whatever as long as we pray over it. And that's not what that's saying, man. Of course, don't eat the things that the Lord said not to eat. The pig, the catfish, all the bottom feeders, shellfish, pork, and whatever else. Right? It says, for it is sanctified by the word of the Most High and in prayer. Now, what this is saying, it's not saying to eat pork and just pray over it and everything is going to be okay. That's just like saying if you was trying to get some box from a girl, some juice box from a girl, and she had AIDS, and as long as you pray before you hit, you ain't gonna get AIDS. That don't make sense. No, it's common sense not to smash on somebody who got a disease. It's the same thing not to eat something that's gonna give you a disease. Just because you pray over it don't make it better. What the scriptures were talking about um, is that you even when you eat the things that you can eat, we already know a lot of these foods, and I ain't gonna say a lot because it's you might as well say all of it. All of it is messed up. It's all GMO. It's all uh, you know devoured. It's all messed up. That's why it's important to pray over even the food that you can eat, and the rest of that mess, leave it alone anyway. Verse 6, it says, if thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. And that's the whole purpose of me doing the video, is just to bring back edification, just to push the vibration out to brothers coming in and young and, growing in the faith. We're in crazy times, man. It's important to stay prayed up. It's important to stay obedient. It's important to do your videos. And I'm still gaining understanding on the importance of doing your videos and just being obedient to the spirit, because you never know what the Lord may have you doing something for. We don't understand every move that the Lord makes, man, just because we have this knowledge, truth, and wisdom. Just play your part, man. And I'm learning that myself, and I'm just speaking in general, you know. Verse 6 again, it says, if thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained. Verse 7, it says, but refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness, because that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. Forget the world. We're supposed to be taking our mindsets and perceptions out of this world and bringing them into Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man, or into this truth. Verse 8, it says, for bodily exercise profited little, but the godliness is profitable unto all things. And see, that's not talking about actual exercise in your body. That's just saying exercising the lust of the flesh. All the things that the flesh wants. It doesn't really profit you anything. It may get you a little temporary happiness. But other than that, the godly things, the right hand side of things, actually are more profitable for you. Not only because you have promises that the Lord gives you on this side, but that all those promises and rewards that we're said to get for doing right on this side in the next life. And that's what the rest of the scriptures is going to into. It says, verse 8, it says, for bodily exercise profited little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come. See, this is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation. If I'm saying that right. Verse 10, it says, for therefore we both labor and suffer reproach, which we all do, man, because living in this world, people are going to hate us because we're going against the grain of the frequency that their brain is on, which, of course we used to be there, but the Lord blessed us, man, and woke us up, and he gave us the gift of this truth and the gift of this faith that we're growing into, right? We all are hated, man. Just like how Yahweh Shah was hated when he was doing the same thing. He suffered wrongly, and he suffered reproach and reproof over things that, he was doing good, man. But the world thought otherwise, and they're gonna do the same thing to us. It says, "For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living power, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe." And that ain't talking about all men of the world. It's talking about all men of Israel, man. This ain't for nobody but Israel. Just to throw that in there. Verse 11, it says, "These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, uh, but be thou an example of the believers." See, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be giving brothers exhortation and being living examples of what, a living image, so to speak, of what godliness is, what righteousness is. It says, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, and in faith and purity." Basically, all around a balance, a perfect balance of godliness and righteousness. Be that. You call yourself a believer, live and act like it. And I'm just speaking in general, just for edification's sake. I'm not saying shots to anybody. Verse 13, it says, "Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation." See, to doctrine. And that's pretty much a sum up of, in a nutshell, what we're supposed to be doing. It says, "Till I come, give attendance." I mean, be here. Be in this truth, man. And really be here mentally and spiritually. Give attendance to your reading. Study, read, and understand, gain understanding. And to exhort brothers to continue in their faith and fighting. And, give attendance to the doctrine, the truth that we're learning. Right? 11, it says, "These things," oh, I just read that. Verse 13, rather, it says, "Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine." Verse 14, Salakin, "Neglect not the gift that is in thee." See, the gift that the Lord gave us, that spirit, that perception he gave us mentally, that made us new creatures. We were reborn. He's saying, Paul is saying to neglect not the gift that is in thee. That gift the Lord gave us of the understanding of the scriptures, which was given thee by prophecy. See, it took brothers that were here before us prophesying to push that vibration out to eventually we woke up as individuals. It says, "With the laying on of the hands of presbytery," if I'm saying that right. Verse 15, it says, "Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them," or holy, that thy profiting may appear to all. See? Because when it's going to appear to all, that's when the Lord is going to give the elect their salvation. And the people are going to see us taken up in them chariots, man. We're going to be famous when that time comes. But the Lord is saying, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, because that's the only thing that's profitable, as it was saying up in the earlier verses. Verse 16, it says, "Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee." See, that's why it's important to be obedient. Do your videos and continue in the faith and doing the things that the Lord asks us to do, being obedient, because you not only save yourself, but when you teach the things that you've been learning as an individual in this truth, it'll help somebody. It's going to help those that were going through the same things as you, coming up and going through the same levels and same, paths. It's all meant, and it's all going to be used, man. That's why it's just important just to play your part. Don't even try to switch it up. Don't even try to act like you understand what the Most High is doing. In a sense, yeah, we understand the prophecies, but we don't understand every move the Lord is going to be making, man. That's why I just sit down, meditate, study, give your attendance to this doctrine, man, and just fight until the end, man. So with that, I just want to give all praise to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Kal halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal Kodash, Barakatam. I hope this video was edifying through the spirit. And double honors to the elders and apostles ruling well, and salutations, man, to all you elect pushing this truth with sincerity. Shalom.